Daily Devotion with Pastor Balla for November 4th, 2025. The voice of the Lord flashes forth flames. From Psalm chapter 29, verses 7 through 9. The voice of the Lord flashes forth flames of fire. The voice of the Lord shakes the wilderness. The Lord shakes the wilderness of Kadesh. The voice of the Lord makes the deer give birth and strips the forests bare. And in his temple all cry glory. Now David continues his vivid picture of God's power by describing his voice as it moves through fire, wilderness, and forest. The voice of the Lord flashes forth flames of fire. The image is of lightning splitting the sky, an awesome display of power. Nature itself becomes a stage where God's majesty is revealed. Every flash of light and every clap of thunder reminds us and creation who is really in control. Then David says, the voice of the Lord shakes the wilderness. Well, the wilderness of Kadesh was vast and dry, a place of isolation and emptiness. Yet even there, God's presence cannot be ignored. His voice reaches the remote places, shaking what seems lifeless and forgotten. This is both a picture of his power and a promise of his reach. There is no place too barren, no heart too distant for his voice to move. The voice of the Lord makes the deer give birth and strips the forests bare. Now these two images capture the fullness of his authority. He brings forth life and also lays creation bare. His power is not chaotic, it is purposeful. The same voice that causes trembling also brings renewal. God's word both humbles and heals. The wilderness shakes, the trees fall, and yet new life springs forth at his command. Finally, David brings us into the temple. In his temple all cry glory. After witnessing the storm, the only fitting response is to worship. The voices of heaven and earth unite in praise, declaring the Lord's glory. What began with thunder and lightning ends in adoration. The majesty that shakes creation leads the faithful to bow in awe before their Maker. So these verses remind us that the power of God's voice is not just in nature. It is in his word. The same voice that flashes like fire now speaks to us through scriptures. His word exposes sin, burns away pride, and brings new life through the gospel of Jesus Christ. The power that shakes the wilderness also softens the human heart. When you hear the thunder roll or see lightning flash, remember that your God reigns over it all. His voice commands the storm, but it also speaks peace to his people. In every display of power, in every quiet whisper of grace, the response of faith is the same: glory. God's peace and many blessings be with you. And thank you for listening. And please take an opportunity to share this message with others.